You can imagine how emotional an event can be when old boys of a school reunite to honor their former principal, with some of them meeting for the first time after 30 to 40 years. Yes, these are former students of St. Peter's Mumias High School who had gathered at the home of one of their own in Kakamega to celebrate their school and give tribute to Ijait Kasianas Aluku, who served as the school's principal from 1982 to 1992. This particular alumni brings together students who passed through his hands.
Mwalimu, you're welcome. We thank you for agreeing to join us. You are the reason why we believe we are what we are today. And so we honor you and we thank you that you have found time to come. These are the boys you taught. Some have changed, struggling with weight like myself.
They also honored John Baraza Munyasia, who deputized Aluku between 1984 to 1986.
My name is Francis Xavier. I joined St. Peter's in 1989 and I left 1992. It's a pleasure. I'm now a coach at Mathare United. Thank you.
My name is Akwabi Jafed Maloba. I'm a clinical officer at the County General Hospital, Kakamega.
My name is Ochango Frederick. I serve under Teacher Service Commission as Curriculum Support Officer in Huisero. I was in St. Peter between 83 to 86.
Jina langu ni Enos Barasa, mkaazi wa Likuyani. Ni mkuu wa shule. Kama ambavyo mzee Aluku alitupisha tuwe wakuu wa shule. Niliingia St. Peter's mwaka wa 88 hadi 89, nikasomea Kiswahili, kikanipeleka chuo kikuu cha Laikipia, nikafuzu kuwa mwalimu wa Kiswahili. Wengi waliniita mvuli wa bara. Sababu ya hicho Kiswahili kizuri, mimi ni mtahini mkuu wa Kiswahili lugha nchini Kenya.
My name is Sir Gilbert Saenyi Okape. I pride myself to be the oldest member of this group. I was privileged. I joined the school in 1979 Form 3 and went up to A levels and left 1982.
I'm Wanjawa Vincent. I joined St. Peter's in 1980 from across St. Peter's Primary. Mr. Luke was my teacher of English. The English I teach today. Mr. Munyasa, you taught us general paper.
This is a major milestone, I would say. When we began a couple of months ago, coming together, I think we didn't envisage that we were going to get here. But this far, the Lord has been able to bring us. But there's lots of potential, and I would encourage us to remain focused. I say this with a lot of humility. I've served as an emergency communications specialist for World Vision International, overseeing Africa. And I've deployed to every emergency across Africa, whether it is Somalia, whether it is Chad, whether it is Sudan. I spent 2 years in Darfur. I was more recently in Eswatini. We heard about the confusion that was in Swaziland. And the discipline that we had at St. Peter's has helped in terms, remaining focused, deploying and being able to give direction. I did not deploy to be part of a team. I deployed to Mali, where I was last year, to offer leadership in central and northern Mali, Timbuktu, those areas that we used to read about. Going in there where there are jihadists, to be able to give direction. I was in Bamako, build up towards the coup.
Some of the prominent people St. Peter's Mumias High School has produced and who are active in this forum include Webuye West MP Dan Wanyama, Murang'a County Commissioner Fred Ndunga, Kenya's High Commissioner to the UK Ambassador Manoa Esipisu, and Head of Military Intelligence Brigadier David Obonyo Otiende. Also key on the agenda was what the old boys can do for their former school, including nurturing talents supporting needy students, and supporting the development of the school's infrastructure as well as career guidance. The current principal, Cosmas Nabungolo, was in attendance.
This is like the mother's milk. When you have had it from St. Peter's, you know what it means when you look back and say, to my mother, this is what I can give in return. So among the lists that I would like to front here is, if we have a twin lab for sciences, you will have greatly saved your school. If we have another lab for computer, because we have IT, and I think in Western we have the largest number of students who take computer. Even when we are sitting for KCSE, we have to go like 3 shifts, and we also run the annexes, and it gets too late. So I plead that in your heart of hearts, if you have a friend who can help St. Peter's to be able to have another computer lab and the infrastructure that goes with that, we really appreciate.
Mimi naitwa Alex Chamwada. I run an outfit called Chams Media. Currently I have 2 former students of St. Peter's Mumias in my company. One is an accountant, another one is a communication expert.
Kwa majina naitwa Anthony Mzee Obala. Nilikuwa St. Peter's 85-86 A-level. Nikajoin Pan African Paper Mills kama mchezaji na nikawa kama quality control inspector. Baada ya kiwanda kufungwa, nikaenda Kisumu. And today, as I'm speaking here, confidently, I'm running an organization that is changing lives of the young boys and girls in the informal settlements. Manyata Youth Resource Center. I'm the co-founder. So I have a lot to share with you guys and Mr. Nabongolo. Niangalie vizuri, nina maneno na wewe.
The family of the event's host, Michael Arunga, who is the chairman of the alumni, also graced the occasion.
My name is Pamela Kawera Arunga. I am the chairman's wife.
Mr. Luku, asante ulini-encourage na nikafurahia. Nasema asante vile Michael ulimchukua huko, nilifurahi na nikaona mtoto atasoma. Thank you very much. Mr. Luku, your discipline ndio imefanya hao watu kuwa huko. I'm sure you are very proud kuona watu kama hawa hivi. Mimi nilikuwa nikiona tukiwa tutoto dogo na sasa ni watu wakubwa. Thank you very much.
And this party would have been incomplete without this. As the old boys served, they remembered with nostalgia their old good days in school. In those days, going for a second round of meal was known as squaring, and top player, so to speak, was something many students would rush for. Are there some who squared here? I'm not sure. The lunch was followed by high table speeches.
We began as a team, either by default or by design, that we got to know each other at the time in which we did. We are not leaving each other. We are building a brand. We are part of that brand called Aluku Boys. We are part of that big brand called St. Peter's Mumias. And for those of us who began even in primary school, like in Dakwa and the rest, we have a longer story to tell. And the journey is not stopping here. And my plea to all of us is this: let us continue to build a brand. And this brand is going to help us with networking. This brand is going to ensure that we are put on a pedestal where people know us. I never talk about any other school, and I don't know any other school that is successful, more successful than the school I went to.
Those of us who are in government, let us look for opportunities that will help propel this group into doing best. We have very many areas where you can benefit from what the government is doing. You need some personalities and officers to vote for you. Say that, yes, we know this group, we know if it gets this, it will do well with it, and it will move further.
My colleagues, I stand here with a lot of happiness that after so many years, we are again converging here as mature and old people. I know those who are with me in 86 and 87, hardly they knew the name Dan Wanyama. I think my name is Amboseli. And then they shortened it to call Ambo. And honestly, at St. Peter's, we terrorized people in sports and academics as well. Our head teacher had some inner eye in knowing all of us. And he knew our potential. And that's why I'm happy here today as one of the legislators in this country, something that I least also expected to be. Let's stick together. Let's continue working together in whichever way.
I enjoyed my time with you, and I had missed many of you because I think I left St. Peter's prematurely, but because I wanted to represent the teachers, and after that I wanted to represent the people. So I just wanted to say how grateful I am that we have this opportunity again. Under Aluku, we got to be the top school in Western Province. Beaten only by, but it was deliberate, because Aluku would say, for instance, as a mark of policy, no, we will not be visiting little girls' schools and little boys' schools, because you better associate with those who perform well. So that's why we would say, no, we associate with schools like Alliance, we associate with what? Yeah, so that when you say you aim high, you know who you want to beat. Because high is not just up here.
And the man of the moment crowned it all.
The last time we had this moment, I must have given a hint to the chairman that he was well aware that there was John Barasa in existence. My delight in making a casual proposal was not casual. I meant to underscore it today so that we could expound, or you would help me expound on what has made you what you are. And one of you has observed very well that in the initial first few weeks, is it about 2 weeks, I didn't address the parade. Because for all practical purposes, what do you come in and storm in? Into what? Into kind of what storm? And so for that reason, I spend a lot of my time walking around and seeing each one of you. And kindly, when I refer to some of you and I call you for dialogue, I know a lot. It pleases me to have what you call a kind of feeling where you're going back to your children to say what happened and how it all healed up finally. Please don't get embarrassed like my little friend who is now doing fun. Please, I know all of you so intimately that when I'm looking at you, I'm not finding fault with you. No. There's no grandfather, there's no father who will have delight in reciting incidences where there was a fault here and there. And for that reason today, what Chairman you have done, you have given us a collection, really a big collection, a household. I really would like to say from this moment on, there should be serious consideration of me as a member of the local boys' assembly. And kindly, I persuade that John be a member also. In that solidarity, I think some of you have given a lot of that hint. You cannot go anywhere today back home and be able to fall back on anybody. In the event that you have a fee to pay, you have a medical whatever to pay, you hardly would fall back on a group of people that will come gleefully smiling at you and be able to raise money and eat with you, other than this particular group that you will have. So there's reason, therefore, in everything that you do, that you hold yourselves and move forward as one solid group. There's a lot of pride in what we see, all of you. You are great boys. I was looking for Opanga. Where is Opanga? Where is Opanga? Where is he? I see him. Look, if you remember the tiny fellow that was, I'm telling you, I'm impressed. Of course, there are others. Thank you for coming.
He narrated his journey in the teaching profession that climaxed with him becoming a commissioner with the Teachers Service Commission.
The very group that are assembled here is the reason why I grew up to what I am. Because I went for some interview after the hassle that we went through, and I was given job group L, right? Job group L. When I got that job group L, we worked together. Then by the time I left in 1992, I had gotten 4 grades. I was on job group N. N was nowhere. The rarest of them all was me achieving in Western. But why? While you are getting the A's and the B's and whatever the universities, growing the way you did, right? You're also nurturing me by the same level. So that when I left St. Peter's with the grades that I had, I was temporarily taken to a school in Cherangani. It was more or less for redemption. And then from that, I was moved to Regi. Within a period of 6 years, I developed a job group. People who know public service. From job group N, I moved to P and R, all achieved in Regi. Again, there are failures that today you cannot believe. Again, it will amount to talking about somebody. Now, from there, I did not know that I had held record. When I was in Western Province at that time, it's only the PC who was on my grade. Only the PC that was on job group R. Nice. Nobody looked at anything else, but the background I had set in St. Peter's, I'm told, propelled me like you cannot believe it. So it's for that reason that, Mr. Chairman, I'm so happy that you've given us this opportunity. And if you develop the articles the way they are and include us on that program as I've requested, we'll be very happy.
And thanks for the work you did. I'm looking like this because of the work you did.
This solidarity is a bond that is grown from the 10 years that defined this group. And the chit-chats here are clear indication of people who would wish to stay longer together.